We called at
Whoa.
the exact same time.
What a coincidence.
1 minute early.
All right, nobody say anything for the next 45 seconds.
What?
Oh, because the joke was that we would wait until exactly 1 to start talking and therefore start the podcast.
Oh, yeah, no, we've all been on the call for like the last, 35, 40 minutes. But out of respect for the podcast process, we haven't said anything.
1 p.m. or 11 a.m. or, well, the time we designated that we would start the podcast is upon us.
Oh my god, it's the witching hour. What are we supposed to do?
Nothing good happens after 11 a.m.
That'd be the most depressing, outlook on the world ever. You know how they say nothing good happens after 2 a.m.? I say nothing good happens after 11 a.m. Just basically all day, except for when I wake up.
Just the heart.
Yeah, because everyone knows that the first 2 hours that you're awake, that's the best.
It's not necessarily the best, it's just nothing bad happens.
God.
I am not a morning person. Absolutely hate the morning and getting up and getting ready and stuff.
How you feeling about those 7 a.m. meetings?
Not great. Not great at all.
And we hope that we are all feeling great by the end of the 91st episode of the Voluntary Viewing podcast, being recorded on April 5th, 2020. On the podcast today, we have the greatest 3-man pickup basketball team in the world.
Jesus.
We got a guy who crosses people so hard they shatter their ankles. Andrew Crisscross Applesauce Clark.
Jesus. His nickname is longer than his name in syllables.
Crisscross Applesauce Clark. I love it.
5 syllables versus 3.
Or as the kids call me,
Chris.
White.
Oh. They just call you Chris. It's for crisscross, not the boring name.
I say that we start giving NBA players new nicknames in the same way that Joel Embiid is now Duo 180 Embiid.
Mm-hmm.
I say that we call Chris Paul Crisscross Applesauce Paul.
Jesus Christ.
We also got a man who's throwing elbows every time he's in the paint, who one time decapitated a man because he threw an elbow so fast and so hard. Ryan Holtz.
Yeah, wow. Cool nickname. I was waiting.
Ryan Holtz.
Yeah, wow. That was my nickname in high school.
You shat on the
How
first
did you
nickname
know?
so hard, I thought, nah, probably shouldn't.
I didn't shit on it. I thought it was funny. It's called comedy.
No. That was the full name. Instead of it being Ryan blah 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 Holtz, it's the man who once decapitated someone on the basketball court with his elbows because he was throwing elbows so hard.
Ryan
Oh,
Manslaughter Holtz.
Jesus. That's actually pretty accurate.
I still have a warrant out in Alabama.
And then rounding out the podcast is me, a man who has never missed a free throw in his life, which actually isn't all that beneficial because those aren't a thing at this level of play. Lucas Swish DeRuyter.
Yeah, Lucas is just always out there calling fouls so he can try to get to the free throw line.
And they'll say bro, take ball. You don't shoot free throws in pickup games.
If there is an egregious foul, we just check it in, man. What are you doing?
Yeah, you get ball back. And you're like, no, just let me shoot. It won't even count. I just want to shoot. Dude, trust me. It's cool.
Okay, apparently I come up with better intro gimmicks when quarantine is happening and I have nothing else to think about.
Have you guys noticed that? I'm definitely more creative now.
I think so,
My brain is definitely more active in, thinking about random things.
Yep.
I think we're all just doing stuff that, instead of it being like, okay, go to the work and then drain your brain for the rest of the night trying to, like, chill out. We're doing other stuff.
So much other stuff.
I've been writing, I've been reading more, been watching more movies.
Here's what I picture all of this is.
Skateboarding.
From what you've said, just based on what I know of your quarantine experience. When you say writing, it's your nightmare journal. When you say reading, it's reading like all the horrific news reports to fuel your nightmare journal.
No, it's just reading my nightmare journal.
Yeah, sure. And then when you're talking about watching movies, it's like Contagion and like really fucked up movies for the situation.
Oh, yeah.
You're just descending down a
Just a bunch
spiral
of David
staircase. Yeah. That's what I picture when you're like, yeah, no, like I'm getting into new hobbies, like writing and reading and watching movies. And it's just like terrifying.
Carving words into my arms.
Reading the what's it called? The Apocrypha or whatever the fuck. Reading the Book of Demons.
I used to remember what that was called.
Yeah, fuck. That sounds really close, but like...
Necronomicon.
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 The Necronomicon?
I don't know, how do you say it?
Necronomicon.
Necronomicon.
That sounds like
Book of the
Kinky
Dead.
Comic-Con.
Pretty sure that's like a H.P. Lovecraft thing.
Oh, yeah.
Is it not
no.
real?
It is. No, it's never mind. Wait. Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, it
H.P.
is.
Lovecraft.
H.P. Lovecraft. There you go.
Have fun with that baggage.
We're talking about it like it's a real thing, which even if it was a real thing, would obviously not be a real thing.
Okay, but you carving words into your arm isn't exactly a real thing either.
No, it's not.
It's all fiction, baby.
It's part of the K-Fab.
Did you ever watch the Funhouse video where they talked about H.P. Lovecraft? They played
Yes.
like the and
Yes.
Adam was clearly
He's
the
like,
one who had read
oh,
it.
it's too scary.
Oh,
You
it's
can't talk
too-
about it.
No, you can't even imagine it because your brain will.
Hey, maybe like I don't know, you're a writer. You could like describe things. Like use your words. Like, no, man, it's too scary.
It's real scary. Oh man, H.P. Lovecraft was really good at like leaving things to the imagination because the human imagination is actually more powerful most of the time than actually describing, like in graphic detail, what's happening.
Yeah.
Let the audience fill in the blanks. Let them come to their own conclusions, and a lot of the time that'll be better than anything we could.
Maybe we should get into this generation's H.P. Lovecraft in the news of the week. That's right. We're talking about Randy Pitchford.
Jesus.
Andrew, I'm kind of proud of you. You are taking charge with these transitions lately. Good for you.
That was super passive aggressive.
Oh my god. No, I like... Good for you stepping it up, man.
I'm so serious. Like, I really love how you're taking like everything that I love. I mean, hey, maybe next time you should do the intros for everyone. Like, do the name thing.
I was being genuine. Oh, shit.
Want to do the wind down later? You're so good at it. Like, you're better than I ever could.
Here, Andrew, why don't you switch your color to green?
And you can also fill out the entire planning document.
And you can do the editing, the advertising.
The infamous Randy Pitchford announced to Gearbox employees that they would not be receiving the tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars in bonuses that the company had previously promised. This comes off the heels of Borderlands 3 selling extremely well, Randy Pitchford getting a $12 million bonus last year, and the reveal that Gearbox employees are paid below industry wage in exchange for royalties that are distributed through these bonuses.
Don't you love it?
Right?
Every company that does that is so full of shit.
Yep.
Like, they drop it at the first sign of the hat. So they're like, oh yeah, no, you guys are paid below industry wage,
But if
but...
you work really hard and we do really well, you're going to get all this money later.
Or not even like work really hard. Like they pitch it as though it's part of the deal. Like, yeah, your wage will be below industry standard, but this bonus will make up for it, or like this overtime will make up for it. And then the first sign of the hat, they say no overtime, no more overtime, or they say, oh yeah, no, your bonuses, sorry, we're gonna have to cancel them. Like things are really tight right now. So it's just like at the end of the day, just pay them an industry wage, like
Right?
because you can't drop that. Can't drop that at a hat as much. So
I mean, you can lay people off, but like, not really much you can do about
I
that.
promise there's going to be layoffs coming for
Oh my God.
Jukebox.
Oh,
That's the next step. That's always the step after cutting overtime and cutting bonuses. So it's coming anyway.
And like, I get it because like I work for a company who like just canceled all of our bonuses, but they still pay us well anyway. It was never sort of like oh yeah, we're gonna pay you guys shit, but then like, hey, later on you're gonna make all this money through the bonuses. It's just like part of the deal, and they're like, hey guys, we're gonna be cutting salaries and bonuses and that kind of stuff.
You're working a commission-based job though. Like that was kind of baked into the premise. By the sound of it, this was.
It's not commission. It's different, but it doesn't matter because that's boring.
Wait, Andrew, what's your HSA plan like? Has it been solid for you? Do you have company contributions to your HSA?
I do.
Let's go into more detail. What kind of plan you got?
We just switched insurances at the beginning of the year, and while I thought it would be better, it's not.
Yay!
It pays more for most things that people that like need healthcare would need it to do, but the one thing that I needed to cover, chiropractic, is much worse.
Oh, chiropractic.
Do you have vision?
I do have vision insurance. Vision insurance costs like 20 cents a month.
Yeah, vision is super cheap.
A lot of people dropped it past couple of years.
Really?
Yeah.
Not in LA. Not in the entertainment industry.
Nice.
Although you can only get like your contacts like once every year or two or something.
It's like you get like a year's worth of contacts, and then a year later you can go get them again. But that's
Make them last.
Perfect vision, gang.
You motherfuckers.
Dental also.
That's me.
Dental also only costs like $3 a month. I remember that being like the big joke in the 90s and early 2000s. Like, oh, this place offers dental. Holy shit.
So long dental plan.
Did it used to be like really expensive and now it's not? Or what?
It's probably just considered like frivolous.
Yeah.
And that's something that they needed to cover employees with. And then they realized, oh, well, if it's such a benefit, like to the point where people talk about, oh, wow, they have dental. That's impressive. And it only costs you like, $30 an employee per year. And then,
it's worth it.
Why not? Wow, that got unironically into the weeds for a second there.
I mean, we need a little bit of a buffer before getting into this next topic, which is
RIP.
The Last of Us 2 has been delayed indefinitely, likely because of production issues brought on from coronavirus.
No!
It's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
No!
Can you imagine? There was a gameplay demo.
Yep.
Like years ago at this point. This is ridiculous.
I'm so sad. It's been 7 fucking years. It's all I want, guys.
You don't think it might hit a little dangerously close to home, the kind of setting of the game and what's happening in the real world now?
It's a few steps removed.
Fair.
Yeah. It's a fungus, not a virus.
Ah,
Lucas, totally different.
Totally and legally distinct.
Yes.
Um,
What if that's why there's a delay, guys?
what?
What?
Okay, hear me out.
Okay.
Last of Us Part 1, right? Oh, super deadly fungus. Oh, wow. Oh, no. It turns you into a zombie. Crazy. But what if, like, all this started happening, and at the last second, all the devs were like, ooh, let's make it more relevant and make it a virus. And it comes from a wet market in China.
Oh, my God.
And then they're like, oh, well, that's going to delay the game, but, I mean, sales will be through the roof.
And then you find out that Joel's super racist and
Jesus.
treating the Asian people on the West Coast like shit.
Keeps calling it the Chinese virus over and over.
Ellie's like, oh, man, all my cousins on Facebook seem to be going even more overboard than usual.
Oh, no.
I mean, I don't know. It's kind of the unspoken reality now that major games after, starting in May just maybe won't be coming out because discs can't be made? I don't know.
Who gives a shit about discs?
Well,
I do.
We don't need discs. Everyone.
No, we don't need them. I would rather this game come out on digital than not at all.
Exactly.
But I do like discs.
Whoop-de-fucking-do. You know how much money they'll make if they just put up a digital download because everyone's stuck at home right now? Sales would literally be so much higher. Who gives a shit that you can't have a physical disc for this one game?
I mean, it's going to be released digital at the same time.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
They do.
But I'm just saying, the company shouldn't delay production because, oh no, our physical media won't be able to be made. If you can put it up online for digital download, you would make so much more money.
I mean, some of it may very well have to do with, the kind of the last minute crunch process and, actually finishing the game up and that kind of stuff. Where, people aren't able to, go to the office and work this, the way that they could before. It could just be throwing the whole timeline off.
We are also taking this at face value that they were going to meet their previous release date, but it could entirely be possible that that also just wasn't feasible, and now they're pushing it even further back for those reasons.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what I'm saying, is that it may not just be that they're like, oh man, we can't get the discs because of, shipping issues. It could just be that, they need to finish the game because devs don't finish the game and then release it 3 months later. They finish the game, put it on discs, and then ship it out immediately, and they just aren't able to logistically finish the game right now because of the virus.
Or poor management, once again. But yes, I agree.
Yeah, it's got to be poor management, right? The Last of Us is a relatively large-scale game. But if you compare it to some of the modern AAA titles that are coming out nowadays, it's nothing. And this sequel, like you said, Andrew, has probably been in development for 7 years. It's got to be poor management, right? You can't.
Well, there were other games going on at the same time. Naughty Dog's very notorious for being instead of starting a process while other things are going on and then picking it up once the other things are finished, they're we're not going to work on this or even think about it until Uncharted The Lost Legacy, or whatever the fuck it is, comes out and is released, and then we'll do this. And then they also have been working on the TV show for The Last of Us, and all the people there are working on other Sony projects, and I forget who left. The co-founder left a year ago and joined a different studio. So I feel there's been a lot going on that way of why it has not been finished yet. But I mean, obviously, the game has been delayed. This is not the first delay. This is the second or third delay of the process. So clearly, they weren't working the way that they could have been to get it done on time, because it should have been out 6 months ago.
Yeah. It sucks. It sucks as somebody looking forward to the game. It must really suck for the people working on it right now, and not a good time. Not a good time all around.
I mean, in between Last of Us Remastered and now, the only things they've done is Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection, which I believe is just remastered, right?
Yeah, it's a remaster.
So that's relatively small. Uncharted 4, Thief's End, granted, big. And then Uncharted The Lost Legacy, which is just an expansion, I believe, right? Just
it's a full game. It's a full game.
Is it?
It's just that I think what they mostly did was reuse. They didn't have to develop a new game. Because they pretty much used assets, from what I can tell.
It's the same engine, a lot of the same assets, different characters, but yeah.
Different story. Instead of it being a 20-hour storyline, it's a 12-hour storyline.
That's pretty...
$60, though.
Yeah, that's kind of a mini game.
No, it wasn't. I think it was $30.
Oh, I stand corrected.
If it was $30, that's definitely not a full release.
Nah.
I definitely view that as more of an expansion than a release. So really just one game between 2014 and where we are now.
A game and a half.
Sure, a game and a half between Uncharted Lost Legacy and Uncharted the Nathan Drake collection. There you go. They could have definitely definitely done better.
But they had to negotiate an HBO contract.
And they're still
That's not the devs.
I'm kidding, guys.
The devs don't put on their TV writer hat and write the TV show, and then they don't put on their BA hat and negotiate contracts.
No, Neil Druckmann is doing the whole shebang.
I mean, when
He's an expert
Neil
in
Druckmann
everything.
and Troy Baker.
Troy Baker.
when they're not trying to get the Uncharted movie off the ground.
Yeah. Troy Baker goes into character as like one of his businessman characters. Just like, well, I've got a lot of experience here. Just let me take a look at the school results.
He's just Lucas. What's his character's name from Death Stranding?
Higgs. The
Higgs.
God particle.
Higgs. The God particle. He just walks like, hello, I'm Higgs.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Is that a thing that
I'm here
characters
to
usually
negotiate a
say?
contract.
Everyone opens with their name when they are talking in character, right?
Yeah.
Just to make sure there's no confusion in the impression.
Moving into TV. Finally some TV news. Finally some good TV news. Rick and Morty returns on May 3rd.
Finally, some good fucking food. Gordon Ramsay meme. Yeah. That's crazy. Hopefully it's all 5 episodes, but we've been burned in the past.
I think it was I think the tagline is Rick and Morty season 4, the other 5 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
No, it's going to be 3 full episodes and then the first 10 minutes of the 4th episode. And then 4 months from now, the second 10 minutes of the 4th episode and the 5th episode will air.
You guys watch the trailer?
No.
No, I didn't. I'm not a big fan of trailers.
Fair enough. I can't blame you for going in blind, but I enjoyed it. Seems like Rick and Morty, man. Seems like good shit. They're gonna get weird.
How the fuck are they going to do 70 episodes?
They're not.
They will.
They are
contractually obligated to do it. Like, if Dan Harmon and fucking
Justin Roiland.
Yeah, I don't know how I missed that name.
You met him.
Justin Roiland. Yeah, no, I didn't. Meet is a strong word.
Guys, with the pace that they're going at right now, they're gonna be dead.
That's what I'm saying. If they die, someone's gonna have to continue the show. Like, they are contractually obligated to produce 70 episodes of that TV show. Like, whoever remains at their animation studio, like, will have to continue making the show.
They might shut down. I mean, hey, like, I have a hard time believing that contracts can't be broken or renegotiated, or that the studio that had them sign the contract is not going to be like, okay, we thought this was going to be a lot faster.
I mean,
did they?
We don't want to do this anymore.
Can get out of a contract, but it's prohibitively expensive.
Yeah, and also, like, it's never happened in the history of TV before.
Oh, really?
Because no one's ever handed out this big of an order to a studio notorious for taking years and years and years between seasons. Like, yeah, no, it's literally never happened. Like, the largest renewals that you ever see are for, like, 3 seasons of Chicago Med or something like that just came out. So that represents, like, 66 episodes. But that's a show that churns out 22 episodes every single year. Mm-hmm. So that's 3 years, you know? This is 70 episodes, which is 7 seasons.
50 years.
I feel like
they take 4 years.
1,000 years of darkness.
From a narrative standpoint, I feel like they're going to reach a point where they just start doing anthology stuff. Because they have baked in, like, Rick and Morty, but what if into that show's universe? So, I don't know, 10 years from now, I feel like, what if it's the first episode of Rick and Morty again, but a universe where everybody's left-handed? One episode down.
I was going to say, like, but they're all pizza people or something, but Lucas just went with left-handed.
The animators actually, like, painstakingly change a lot of minor details so that everyone's using their left hand.
It's not that they just don't flip the frame.
Yeah, no, the animators are very much like going into I mean, so like the animation is really the pipe or the what's it called?
Bottleneck.
Bottleneck, yeah, in the pipeline. Like The writing does not take nearly as long as the animation. That's just a thing with animated shows, and Rick and Morty is relatively high quality animation, so that's actually what makes it take so long. But that's kind of amazing.
Anything going on in film?
Literally no.
No.
The movies have shut down. It's really depressing. Major film studios are going to really be hurting from this.
Yeah. AMC theaters may very well shut down. Like they have been kind of limping along the past couple of years because they barely made it through the 2008 crash. But yeah, apparently their credit rating dropped and they just might shut down forever.
If I miss out on my Stubbs A-list, I only got 3 fucking months out of this Stubbs A-list, and then coronavirus knocked everything out. I only saw like 5 movies or something. If I would have known, I would have seen more. You don't know what you got till it's gone, boys.
We're here for you, Ryan.
God damn it. It's like I'm mourning the loss of a lover. I visit AMC Stubbs A-list's grave every week.
Aww.
Drop flowers and shoot my gun in the air.
I was going to say, you just pour out like a big tall cup of $5 soda.
Yeah. Pour out the popcorn that costs more per ounce than filet mignon.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. So here's a question for you guys.
Yeah.
A lot of movies have been pushing back their release dates, understandably, because there's no theaters for them to view in.
Right.
A couple of movies have just, said, oh, we're just going to go straight to streaming instead of a theatrical release, and then you'll pay, I don't know, standard rental fees. So, like, I think a good example of that was, maybe I messed up the timeline for this, but I think, like, The Invisible Man had been out in theaters for, like, a couple of days when they started shutting down, and then it just moved to Hulu. Then you can, like, buy a ticket, basically, to watch The Invisible Man, and it's like $4 or something. And Disney has been doing a lot of that where, and they've just been moving it straight to Disney Plus instead of, charging extra for it. Mm-hmm. But I think I've seen a couple other places that have been like charging something somewhat comparable to like a movie ticket price, and you can like watch the new release on stream. Whereas other places are obviously just delaying the release dates. Do you think one's going to be more popular than the other?
Well, I think that those movies that were released on streaming for a fee had already premiered, so it was just too late. Like, they were fucked. I think all the movies that came out after theaters shut down have just, pushed their release dates back. Like, right now, there is such an insane bottleneck is coming up a lot right now.
Yeah.
There's an insane bottleneck in around, like, Labor Day with, like, a bunch of movies that have adjusted their release dates to then. And, like, we don't even know if then movie theaters are going to be able to open back up. Like, I don't know, man.
I would definitely be on the early side. I also feel like the movies that are getting released direct to streaming right now are movies that the company have kind of decided, hey, maybe we've made enough money off of this, or maybe we're never going to make a ton of money off of this property to begin with, because the second you put it on streaming, it also goes up on pirate sites.
Yeah. Even the second it's not on streaming, it goes up on pirate sites. Some dude videotaping the movie theater screen.
That's an awful way to watch a movie, though.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we are going into the other category.
Oh, God.
Don't have to spend a ton of time talking about this one, but it's kind of a public service announcement.
No.
Fuku offers 2 weeks of free hentai as a part of its stay-home COVID-19 promotion.
Is that the pronunciation?
Yes.
What?
Wait, how had you been reading it?
Faku?
It has an A, Lucas.
Yeah, you just said fucku. Like, is that really it?
I think so.
Have you heard this pronounced out loud a lot?
Not a lot for obvious reasons, but I think Oh god, are we at a manga situation?
So just so you know, like, Pornhub is also offering a premium subscription for free. But this podcast decided to talk about
Yeah.
the hentai subscription for free. Because of course we do.
Now we're talking about both.
Sure. But that was like weeks ago, and we didn't talk about it. That would have been too normy for voluntary viewing. Oh, no.
I saw a Twitter thread earlier today, and it was the Netflix nerd account. Like, it's just an official Twitter account. Like, it's got the blue check and everything. But it's just for their nerd stuff. And like the post was, you don't have to call it a Beastars animal, just call it a furry. This, like, it's 2020, y'all. Or fursona, that's what it was. Don't call it your favorite Beastars animal. Call it a furry. It's 2020. Or fursona. God damn it. And then,
what should they call it?
fursona.
Okay.
And then someone commented, like, can we get, like, a couple of account admins that, like, just aren't spreading all their fetishes all over Twitter? And then this furry account responded to that saying, dude, being a furry isn't a fetish, it's just being really into animals. Like, it's not the same thing.
Wait.
And then the original dude responded to that with a screenshot of the dude's, like, media page on Twitter, and it's all hardcore furry porn. He's like, yeah. He's like, oh yeah, just because I'm into furry porn doesn't mean that all furries are into furry porn, dude.
Wait, is that not a thing? Hold on.
No, it is. It absolutely is.
Okay, just making sure. My understanding was absolutely that
it is a sexual
99% of furries, it was very much a sexual thing.
Yes.
Okay, good.
It is.
Because he started saying that, and I was like, wait, I guess it could, but yeah, no, like, okay.
It is
just
a,
making sure.
in the same way that there are people, like there's gay men that are, like, into men romantically but not sexually. There are, I assume, furries that are not into furry porn. That being said, they're very rare.
Some people are just really, really into animals. That's such a weird explanation.
Yeah.
Kind of makes it worse.
Yep.
Yes.
We're just like horse girls, but we're in our 30s.
And we have sex with them.
Oh, jeez.
The horses or the horse girls?
Both.
Yeah, why not?
Hey.
And horse girls dressed as horses.
But it was so weird because he's like, dude, it's not a fetish. Like, it's just being really into animals and, like, you know, like, animal anthropomorphic animals. Then the dude just responds with a screenshot of the dude's media page.
Did he say appreciation? So I feel I've seen that so many times as like a dodging a fetish type thing where they're just like, it's just an appreciation. You don't understand. And it's like, okay, like, we're splitting hairs here. Like, this is no longer, you know, a one-to-one argument. Yeah.
I'm trying, here, I found it.
Oh.
Furry isn't a fetish, my dude. It's an interest in anthropomorphic animal characters, just like anime isn't a fetish. And then the dude responds with, I don't know, dude, this looks like porn to me. And it's just the first guy's Twitter account with just hardcore furry porn.
Yes.
Okay, a couple of things. One, no kink shaming on this podcast. Like, we are... You people... not starting with that. Do whatever makes you happy as long as you aren't hurting anybody. Second off, as somebody who actually watched all of Beastars, that shit is absolutely furry bait.
Yeah. Look, I'm not kink shaming. I'm just throwing it out there that, like, if you're personally ashamed of your own kink to the point where you try to, like, awkwardly defend it, like, come on, man. But I don't get it.
People can be whatever they're into, but don't pretend it's not what it is.
Yeah.
Nah.
I can't find the tweet.
What tweet?
The argument. Or did it not go beyond that?
I mean, didn't really go beyond that.
No, fair enough. That's a showstopper.
You also won't be able to.
I think his response was something along the lines of like, "Oh yeah, just because I'm every furry ever, like you can't generalize what I'm into to the other furries."
Look, I've seen FurryCon. Like it's
we know what it is.
The tension in that is, whew. You can cut it with a knife. You cut it with a butter knife.
I don't know, all that hair
and that sweat.
Oh God.
Yeah. That's when Funhouse went to FurryCon. I think was it Joel? I don't remember. Someone went to FurryCon, Bruce maybe, and they just said I think it was Bruce, and he had to interview a bunch of them, and he said my only memory was how wet everything was. I was just like, oh God, no,
Shit.
Like they were like rubbing him, like they do, and
man,
very soaking wet with hopefully sweat.
But probably urine.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, this is where it gets weird.
Yes, yes, that is actually where it gets weird, Andrew. People dressing up in fur costumes is not even close to that level.
On the hierarchy of kinks, I'm gonna say that piss fetishes way further up there than furries. Furries are borderline mainstream now.
Guys, we've been on this furry thing for like 15 minutes.
Well, you keep throwing curveballs, man.
I know. It's my fault.
Yeah, who brought this up in the first place? Andrew,
it derived from Lucas's weird anime faku thing.
That's not an anime thing, Andrew. That's a hentai thing. There's a difference. Look it up. Oh, just because I'm into hentai, I have an appreciation for drawn
just because I have an interest in erotic Japanese style art doesn't mean that it's a fetish.
Oh no.
This entire conversation would get us banned on Twitch, which actually carries heavier implications now. Transition. Twitch upped their moderation efforts and increased the severity of bans. Now, if someone is banned, they can't even see the chat and they don't appear in any viewer logs. Also, if they try to start another account after being banned, this new account will immediately be shadowed banned, meaning their contributions to a chat won't appear on other viewers' screens.
So, this is for people, like viewers. This isn't for content creators?
I don't believe for content creators. Just if somebody is being a dick in chat and they get banned.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder what level. What's the shadow ban level?
Or, I don't think the article said anything about shadow banning being changed, but just that that's now a part of the banning process. That even if you start a new account, that will be shadow banned.
I was just curious what that level is. Like, what do you have to do?
Oh, to get banned?
Yeah.
Ooh. Let's get this in my search history. What do you have to do to get banned?
What does a man have
Twitch?
to do to get banned from Twitch?
For what it's worth, it auto-filtered to get banned on Tinder. 7 surefire ways to get yourself banned on Twitch.
That all seems like content creators. That seems like Dr. Disrespect or some shit. Like he's gonna film in the bathroom and get banned for it.
Oh yeah, this article is just about content creators.
Would it be like stalking? Because then in that case, like, I don't know. It feels like they'd be able to get around a shadow ban pretty easily if they're like so dedicated to fucking with a streamer that, they're gonna get shadow banned. Feels like they get a VPN or some shit and just get around it.
Also, VPN is the obvious workaround for this.
Yeah. Oh well.
Bring back
Can't
Justin
moderate
TV.
your platform. There's too much content. We're too big to fail.
What's Mixer?
Yeah, what is Mixer? Is that still a thing?
Ninja's on it, so
Who
yeah.
is Mixer?
Is Ninja big? I feel like I've definitely seen him less and less in mainstream. I think I did see a YouTube video where he was being a dick in Warzone. Like, he kept screaming at his teammates to revive him and, like, buy him back after he would die and stuff. And, like, yeah. Doing ninja things. It's very ninja.
Just ninja things.
And that'll take us to the usual things in the meme corner.
The memes.
Whoa.
The only big non-Animal Crossing one I saw was that, and this actually made it to a Kotaku article, Japan announced that it would send families in high-risk COVID-19 areas 2 reusable face masks, and this spawned a lot of memes for obvious reasons.
I get the memes, and it's funny, but,
Yeah.
like, they're not obligated to send any, right? Like, isn't 2 free masks, like, better on families, so then they only have to buy, like, a couple more? I don't understand.
I mean...
And also, they're reusable, and they're only for when you go outside, so, like, you could swap them out. Like, oh, I'm going outside, let me grab this mask. Like, oh, you're going outside, you grab this mask. And also, these aren't, like, N95 medical masks. Like,
Yep.
they're for, like, general, hopefully, like, it filters out something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it
know?
just, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
And,
even the CDC is like, hey, now you probably should be wearing masks. I know people are making fun of people for doing it, but, like, even if it's a bandana or, like, a towel or something, it's better than nothing.
Well, I always thought that it was also more for, like, if you were sick and you didn't know it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, it would at least prevent some of the droplets from,
Yeah.
getting out into the world in the first place. So, in theory, this isn't even for your own protection. Like,
To keep...
I don't know.
to
I get the
protect
meme.
I don't know. I just think...
It's funny. It's
yeah,
funny
and-
meme, but, like, I don't think it's quite fair to the Japanese government. Like,
It's such like that was just like a point that was so heavily negotiated to, though, right? That's where my mind immediately went when I heard about this. Like,
what would you guess the average household size is in Japan? I bet you it's like 2.5 or something. Like, so it's either send too much per the average or send like a little too little.
why not send too much in a pandemic? I would have guessed
What if
3.
you had 3 masks and there's 2 people? That's a waste.
Because the medical community is what needs it the most. Like, if I get the whole thing of, like, it's not really a waste sending the people too many because they'll use them and you want to make sure everyone has protection, but those masks are more important to the medical community. Like, I know they're not the N95 that, like, the actual surgeons and, doctors will be using, but, like, it's something that they can use.
Yeah, I've seen definitely a lot of makeshift shitty masks in hospitals.
Yeah,
Like scarves.
They need it. Like, they need it more. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, it'd be nice if I had, full hazmat suit when I went to the grocery store. but I don't need it as much as the doctors.
Do you guys think just wearing medical masks, like is pretty commonplace in a lot of Asian countries, just becomes a thing in America after this?
They don't wear medical masks. Like, even in Asia, like, before this, it was all cloth masks. It was more
cloth masks or like some kind of facial covering like that.
They were the kind that you would get at, like, the doctor's office if you had the flu or something. They were
Sometimes. There were plenty of cloth masks. Like, the stylish, more, like, it was almost like a fashion feature sometimes than just, like, a pure mask. But, I mean, yeah, it's possible that becomes a little bit more mainstream and acceptable. But I imagine definitely, like, in the wake of coronavirus, until, like, the vaccine's out and everything, it will definitely be a thing. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Any other memes?
Oh, shit. I did see one, but now I don't remember it.
I'm scrolling through Twitter.
Twitter, give me memes.
Nope, I'm not pulling up stuff. Dead air.
Nice.
Mostly still just Animal Crossing.
I honestly, yeah. I guess they don't like the new Easter event. I don't know. Too many eggs in Animal Crossing.
Yeah, a lot of Animal Crossing shit.
Still a lot of the Tiger King.
That makes sense.
It's very memeable.
Bologna is just hot dogs for people who like pancakes. That's a terrible meme.
What the fuck?
Terrible meme.
What?
Bologna is just hot dogs for people who like pancakes, Lucas.
Oh, bologna.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay, I see it.
I did see the meme with the yearbook class thing. And then like class of 2020 was like Roblox characters. And then it went back to normal. Like class of 2018, a bunch of kids. Class of 2019, a bunch of kids. Class of 2020, Roblox characters. Class of 2021, a bunch of kids. Like,
And then that like what was it? March 1st versus April 1st.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, man, March 1st. Holy shit, did we not know what was happening? What was coming?
Nope.
We were still reeling from almost going to World War III.
We were still reeling from the Iowa caucus being a shit show.
That's right.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. That was only a few months ago.
And now all primaries are canceled, except for Wisconsin.
Except for Wisconsin. I sent in my absentee ballot. If you happen to be a Wisconsin voter and you hear this, it's not too late. I think they extended when you can vote, but
For the
please,
general or for the primary?
for the primary.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought that like what was it, the Republican House or something turned it down, like extending the date.
I think they extended like when they will accept absentee ballots.
Yeah, but I mean they have to have results.
Yeah,
the
but
next
I
day.
think that there's I don't know if it's a federal law or something, or if it's just the DNC that's doing it, but it's like people are not allowed to announce polling results for like another 2 weeks or something. So even when the primary happens, unless I am completely turned around, I don't think we'll even know what the results are.
Wisconsin Republicans say they will ask Supreme Court to block extended absentee voting.
Fuckers.
Fuck me, I was wrong.
So we don't know. They've asked. We're gonna find out, I guess.
They're still gonna have like half a dozen polling places open in like Milwaukee and Green Bay, which is gonna be a fucking shit show. I think I saw there's usually 180 polling places in Milwaukee, and there's gonna be 5 open in Milwaukee now for in-person voting.
So it's not even gonna be like an election. Like
No, it's not.
It's gonna be such an exercise in voter suppression that like it actually
It won't. It literally
be an election
won't
at all.
count, or shouldn't count.
Yeah, but it will.
Yeah. Fuck.
Who does it benefit too? Like, I honestly don't know, because Bernie won in 2016. I haven't looked at any of the polls, but like, Joe Biden is such the presumptive nominee now that I have no idea.
I mean,
If
a
it
lot
will
of
have any effect.
a lot of state and local elections are also taking place during primaries, and by and large, voter suppression efforts tend to benefit Republicans. So I think
But with such a shift to like absentee voting, like where I think obviously the majority of votes that come in will come in through the mail. I wonder who is going to be better at doing that. Who's going to be like, what demographic's going to be most likely to?
It'll still
You think
skew super
You-
old.
Yeah.
You still think it'll be old people? Okay.
Because young people don't even know. Like, they're like, what? Absentee ballot? What's that? What, do I have to walk down to my courthouse and request something in the mail? I don't know how to do any of that shit. And then old people are like, meanwhile, that's like their whole Google history is like, how the fuck do I vote? How do I vote? How do I vote? How do I vote? How do I vote? Like, it's absolutely. And you know what? More power to them. Because at a certain point, God damn it, young people, just step up. If we had 100% voting, you know how much better our country would be, like,
Oh
in
my
every way, shape,
God.
and form. just political participation. I don't care which way it would skew.
No, you're young. Your opinion shouldn't count. Only old people that haven't changed their opinions on the changing world in 50 years should be allowed to have a vote.
Look, sure, I don't give a shit though. Like, at least if there was 100% participation, like, there would be discourse. There would be, like, so much more. I wouldn't care if it went against my own views, just because, like, God damn it, it's frustrating.
Oh, this is an accurate representation of the society we live in. Okay. This is what people wanted.
Yeah, ideas just get to live on because there's no one there to challenge them. Like, I don't even care if it's, like, a liberal idea that gets to live on because no one's challenging it, that gets shot down because of 100% participation. Like, it just, like, if people participated, it would be so much better.
Go vote!
Yeah, it's too late. We're all fucked. We're all fucked forever. There's nothing you can do.
Hi, I'm Ryan Holtz, and you should vote, except it doesn't matter.
I'm Ryan Holtz, and I vote and participate and do my best to, like, be an evangelical about voting. But I also know that it's completely hopeless and that nothing that I can do can fix it. It's a conundrum, I know. It doesn't make any sense. But that's my life.
I'm just going to keep pushing this boulder up the hill.
Not even. I'm just going to keep, like, slamming my head into the boulder repeatedly, hoping that it breaks, and it won't ever.
Maybe someone will hear the sound of my skull shattering, and then they'll ask me, why are you doing this? And then I can tell them, it's because people aren't voting enough.
And on that dejecting note, we go into the breakouts.
Ooh, dejecting. Is that a word?
I believe so.
Yes.
Dejected,
It
so I
is.
imagine the present tense of it would be.
Yeah, the gerund or present participle, dejecting. Fun. That's an ACT word right there, as they used to say.
Hell yeah.
Hey guys, you want to take the ACTs again for fun
God,
during the
no.
quarantine?
I know that was proposed as a fantasy football punishment in one of my other leagues.
Ooh.
But it got shot down just because it's kind of expensive.
Yeah.
And it would be most of our league dues would go into funding that person taking the ACT.
I remember it being like $55, maybe?
I think it's like 70.
Yeah.
It is. It's very expensive. I still have not gotten my fantasy football trophy from Aaron, and now I can't get it because of social distancing.
I mean, you could just, like, drop it outside your apartment, and then you could come out and grab it later.
That's true.
Maintain social... That's what a lot of people are doing. I know, like, people who have to get groceries shopped for because they're in self-quarantine. People just drop food at their doorstep, and then they come out and grab it, so there's no contact.
Mm-hmm.
William Osman, one of the... This is part of the breakouts. This is my breakout. William Osman, he's a YouTuber. His house famously burned down. He did, like, laser cutting and stuff within his little house, and it burned down in the Ventura fires, I think, 2 years ago. So that was, like, what he was well known for. That's when I discovered him. But he's a really great YouTuber. Him and his wife both... Well, his wife tested positive. He never showed any symptoms, but literally, like, they videotaped the workers that were, like, taking the tests. And he was just like, so, like, what about me? Like, what should I do? And they're just like, if she's positive, you're positive. And you're like, all right. So they both tested positive, and yeah, they went through, like, some of their experiences and how much it was, like, failing. Like, when they first she got tested for the flu, and it was negative, so they just said that she had a cold. And then he said that for some reason they were under the impression that, like, if you test negative for the flu, you can't have coronavirus either, even though they're, like, completely different and have nothing to do with each other other than, like, semi-similar symptoms. And yeah, like, then after a couple of days it got so bad that they went in and got the real test, and then it took a whole week for those results to come in. So there was literally, like, 10 days where she was positive and, you know, didn't even really know it. And yeah, they also took some video of, like, her at her peak symptoms, and yeah, it was a little scary. Like, she was clearly super short of breath, and, like, every time she would try to take a deep breath, it would just end in coughing, and, like, yeah, It was brutal.
And that is...
When my dad had his test done, like, he got his results the next day.
Damn.
That he tested negative. So, I mean, that was just because he was going to have surgery. So, like, all of them had to do it. But
okay.
I remember not that long ago, Jade had to go to the doctor for, I forget what it was for, like, just to pick something up. And she said that they were doing, like, the drive-in testing. They're like, hey, if you have symptoms, come do the drive-through testing. Like, and so there's a bunch of people lined up, but they didn't say what the symptoms would be and like what they were testing for, because they were doing influenza A testing. People were driving in thinking they were going to get tested for COVID, and they weren't. And then like several days later, they'd be like, "You don't have the flu," and they're like, "Yeah, I know, fucking idiot. I know I don't have the flu."
Well, that's probably their way of narrowing it down, right? Because like influenza tests are much cheaper, easier to come by, and so if they're like, well, if you test negative for the flu and you still have flu-like symptoms, we're going to guess COVID, and so stay home and isolate. Like,
I understand it. It's just that they're bringing all these people out to get tested for something else.
Yeah.
I just thought it was kind of dumb.
There's no tests.
Yeah.
There is such a shortage of tests. It's insane.
When my dad, I don't know if like all of the tests are uniform and the same, because I know a couple different companies are trying to like find their own tests. But like when my dad got tested, he said they stuck like a 9-inch rubber tube up his nose, like into his sinuses.
Yep.
He's like, I could feel it like hit my fucking brain.
Yeah, that's the one that they had in the William Osmond video.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a tube. It seemed more like a swab, similar to like a strep test that went up her nose. But yeah,
He said it was like a rubber swab.
Yeah, it might have been a rubber swab. I don't know. I couldn't get a good look. But yeah, it went like way up there apparently. Mm-hmm. They really got to get a little mucusy gunk.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It sounds fun.
That's gross.
That's gross.
Andrew, what have you been checking out?
Nothing spectacular. Just trying to, I don't know, find random movies that had been suggested on like Netflix, and I don't know. Like I don't have Hulu, I don't have HBO or anything like that, but I have Amazon Prime, I have Netflix, I've got Disney Plus. I haven't paid for any of these because they're from other people that I know. But like yesterday, Jade and I watched Julie and Julia, which I didn't think I was gonna like, and I really resonated with it, so that was fun.
That's the one where a woman works her way through the Julia Child's cookbook, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It like cuts back and forth between Julia Child in the 50s and then this woman who works for a call center that takes insurance claims from people that died in 9/11. Because it's like 2002. But so that was nice. I watched Netflix's The King, which is just it's the most okay movie I've seen in a while.
So
it's like it's fine. It's literally just fine.
So based on your current trend, the next thing you watch is going to be King of the Hill, right?
No.
Ah.
But
you should take advantage of that HBO free subscription, man. There's some insanely good TV and probably some movies.
Isn't it just a free
included.
trial? I've already done like 3 of those.
No, it's not a trial. It's like a specific, like, we have made 500 hours of content available for free.
Oh.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I'll check that out. Well, I thought what you meant was just to like, hey, like you can get a free trial. I'm like, nope. I already have.
That's not what I meant.
All right.
I don't know how to work it because I have HBO, but yeah.
I'll figure that out.
HBO 500 hours. Let's see.
I do want to watch Train to Busan tonight because that's on Netflix. And then a movie that I've always wanted to revisit because I cannot figure out what I think of it is Drive. I've always wanted to rewatch Drive, so I think I might do that sometime.
I'm tempted to watch The Wire.
I've seen the first season of The Wire because I had to for a class, and it is very good. I have not watched like the other 6 or 7 seasons.
Yeah, I know. It seems like such a product of its time, like a lot of TV is, so it's tough to go back and watch it.
I don't know. I felt like, I watched it in, what was that, 2015? I think it was 2015. It could have been 2016, but so 4 or 5 years ago, and it still felt very relevant at the time. So
says you can log on to HBO Now or HBO Go to unlock a tempting mix of original series, documentaries, and 20 Warner Brothers movies. So yeah, for the TV shows, they have Ballers, Barry, Silicon Valley, 6 Feet Under, The Sopranos, Succession, True Blood, Veep, and The Wire. I would definitely recommend Veep and Succession if you haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
And then movies, they have a fuck ton. They have, let's see, is there any good ones, though? Lego Movie 2.
Oh.
Nancy Drew and the Hidden Staircase. Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
No?
Oh, Detective Pikachu.
Sucker Punch. I don't know. Documentaries. They have The Apollo, which I kind of wanted to see. Oh, McMillions. I've heard that is decent. Yeah. There's some stuff. I mean, Veep and Succession would take a while. Just those two, then, are my recommendations from that free stuff.
All right.
Veep might be the funniest show ever made. I'm not pulling punches.
Fair.
So good. So. Sick. Wait, have you moved, Andrew?
No, not yet.
When do you move?
We don't know.
Oh.
So the lease starts officially on May 1st.
Better be May 1st at the very least.
So that would be the latest, because what they said was, hey, the lease on here says May 1st, but that's just because like we're finishing up the final touches on the renovation. We're probably going to be done sooner than that, and then you can just move in whenever when we let you know.
Yeah, that would make sense for them.
When
was your lease end, though, this current lease?
This current lease that we're on would have ended in August, but they're just like transferring it over. They're just gonna
they're letting you.
They're like May 1st basically is just a new lease. They're canceling out this current lease, and then it's just going to be a full year after that.
That's cool. Is it a different building, or is it in the same building?
It's the same building. It's just 2 floors down in the other end of the hall.
Got it. So it'll be kind of a pain to move like couches and stuff, but totally feasible.
Yeah, it's not going to be like loading stuff into cars and driving it to another place and then trying to take it, through the parking lot and stuff. It's just going to be like getting it through the door in the elevator.
Oh, it is on a different floor. Okay.
Yeah.
Moving up or moving down?
Moving down.
Gonna have less of a view?
Yeah, like that's one thing, but like...
Andrew, you're not gonna be able to look out the window and bang your head into it.
Well, I mean, I can't. Like, there'll still be a window. It'll just be closer to the ground.
Yeah, it won't give you that beautiful, I don't know what...
Yeah, the view of the parking lot.
I don't know, man. I didn't know what you had.
I
was gonna go to your apartment that one time, and I was very sick.
Oh yeah, I forgot you've never been here.
God damn it. It was so frustrating. It was like the only thing I wanted to do, not at home, was visit my dogs and go to that party at your house that night.
Visit your other dogs.
I was sick. Yeah.
Visit my dogs.
Visit my dogs and visit my dogs. And I couldn't do either on that day.
I don't know which we are, but okay.
Are we dogs or dogs?
I mean, isn't dog kind of usually more of like the friend, the homie synonym?
Dogs.
Dogs.
D-O-U-G.
D-O-U-G, Dogs?
Dogs.
Dogs. There's D-O-U-G has a pronunciation, and it's Doug.
I don't know why. I find that very funny.
That's the next hot meme.
Yeah.
D-O-U-G has a pronunciation. I'm going to
go hang out with my dogs.
Fuck, man. If you don't have 2 random white friends named Doug, I feel sorry for you. Y'all didn't grow up with multiple Dougs, and it shows.
Yeah, the only thing I'm really watching right now is just a bunch of anime that I kind of have to check out for work. Nothing really standing out so far. But, I don't know. Whatever. Summer is always kind of a hit or miss spring is always kind of a hit or miss for anime.
Are you going to have to watch Tower of God, the anime that everyone's talking about?
I did. I watched the first episode, and...
It didn't... Everyone was talking like, wow, it's so good and amazing, and I read the synopsis, I'm like, this is every anime I've ever heard of.
How on board are you to just be like, yep, I am rooting for this character without learning anything about them or them having any kind of discernible personality in the first episode? Because that's what this does.
You mean anime?
Well, anime have character introductions. Like, characters can have personality in anime. The character in Tower of God does not.
I mean, I just... Reading kind of what it was about, it did not interest me whatsoever. I don't know how people thought it was interesting. And maybe, I don't know, maybe it gets good. But I know that makes Ryan's spine tingle.
Once per year. Already used it on Succession.
I was going to say, are you gonna waste it on Tower of God?
No, I already used it on Succession this year. Got another 8 months before I can use another one. But yeah, so if you are taking advantage of that HBO free offer to watch Succession, just know, episode 5 or 6, it gets good.
I understand. In the same way that I understand that there are plenty of shows that do actually get good and that it takes some time. I just don't know if I have the time to put in 5 or 6 episodes of not good to wait for good when I'm not like super interested
it's
already.
not good, it's just like above average TV versus like insanely incredible TV, you know. I'm with you, Andrew, that I never know if I have the free time because of all the incredible TV out there to watch a show that's just above average. So I even take it to like the next level. Where like, not only is the show like not a bad show at all by any means, but like it literally has to be like, holy shit, I really want to watch this show in order for me to watch it. Like it is a threshold there for sure. And Succession had to cross that threshold.
I'm absolutely petrified every time I try to find something to watch because I'm like, oh man, there's so many good things to watch, and like some of them might be really good and some of them might just be okay, and I don't want to waste my whole night watching something that's just okay when I could have watched something else that's even better, and then I end up not watching anything.
I kind of feel that.
You're baiting me pretty hard right now, and I know you are.
You don't have to go there, Ryan.
There's a show that I seem to recall that was possibly just okay, that you just ate the fuck up.
And while we won't go there, we will go to the group chat.
Hey, let's talk about everyone's favorite Amazon Prime original. We can talk about that as a group.
I think you can watch The Wire on Amazon Prime now.
Oh, really?
For some reason.
Well, then you don't even need HBO's weird little 500 free thing.
I'm probably not going to watch The Wire.
I don't know if I could name a single Amazon Prime original other than the show that will not be named.
The Boys?
Oh,
The
that's
Boys,
right.
Dude.
Okay.
Did you guys watch The Boys? I forgot.
I haven't watched The Boys.
Lucas, you would love The Boys.
I know.
Andrew, I think you would also like The Boys a lot. If I had to guess.
Is Hunters any good? They advertised the shit out of that.
Yeah, no, they really pushed it. I don't think it was... I didn't hear too much good buzz. I don't know. What else they got? They got Marvelous Miss Maisel. They got the Fleabag, which isn't technically an Amazon Prime original. It's like a co-pro. They've got blah, 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 Man in the High Castle.
Jack Ryan.
Yeah, Jack Ryan, obviously. Man in the High Castle just finished. That was like their flagship for a while. They got some stuff. Probably not worth it. But they also have a bunch of random shows like Mr. Robot. They have all the old seasons of that show on there, which is insanely good TV. So, I mean, it's worth it, especially if you use Amazon to deliver stuff. Like, Amazon Prime is far and away the best value of any of the subscriptions.
Because it's, like, Amazon Prime is worth having because, you know, if you buy things, it's just worth having. Exactly. But then this other program is just included in it, so...
I would pay more than I do for just the delivery part of Amazon Prime. And then you throw in, like, the TV and, like, Amazon Fresh and whatever the fuck else. Like, it's pretty cool. Although they're being shitty to their employees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I have an Amazon credit card, and I feel bad every time I use it.
I just can't. Like, it's tough. It's one of those too big to fail things. Like, that is such a part of, like, the way that I choose to live my life.
The product that they offer is so worth it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so incredible. It's just like, it's in the back of your mind every time you use it. Like, man, these guys really fucking suck.
Yep.
But it's so good.
I know. Like, I think a little bit ago, my sister messaged me and my brother about, like, my mom and dad's birthday, because she was saying, like, oh, you know, it's like a month away, but there's like a lot of delays on shipping and stuff from Amazon. So, like, I didn't know if you guys had any ideas or stuff like that. And my brother, like, just sent a one-sentence sobering text that was just like, I'm not supporting Amazon at this time. And I'm just like, oh, okay. The fucking high-roaded. Like, we got high-roaded so goddamn hard. And, like, more power to you, but, like, fuck, man. I just can't. So, oh well.
Couple video games coming out that I want to buy. Do I brave the elements to get those? Or I should just download them? But I want a physical copy.
God damn it, you guys. What is so good about a physical copy? I'm actually curious now.
You own it.
You own a digital copy in the same way.
You can put it on a shelf and it looks cool.
Jesus Christ, man. You can put it on a digital shelf and it looks cool.
Digital copies don't take up space in my apartment, Ryan.
Exactly. It's
No,
better.
I need that space filled.
I mean, I think limited hardware space is a genuine defense there.
Ryan, I
Is
need
it?
to keep up the charade that I consume lots of media. And I have my books and my movies and my TV shows and my video games and my CDs.
Has limited hardware space actually ever affected your guys' lives? Like,
Yes,
I have never once had it affect my life.
Absolutely. I've got an extended hard drive on my PS4 because I literally ran out of space. I've deleted most of the games.
That's what I'm saying. You ran out of space, but, like, how did it affect... Like, there was a game that you wanted to play that you didn't have installed because you had to delete it. Like, that? Or, like... Because if there's a game that you're like, oh, maybe I'll play this tomorrow, you can just download it again overnight. Like, you can just delete the games that you don't play very often.
Yeah, but I don't really ever...
re-download them.
I don't really ever be like, oh, this is something I will want to do soon. It's like, oh, what am I going to do now? Oh, I kind of want to do this now.
You have had situations where you wanted to play a game but you didn't have it installed.
Yes.
That has happened to you.
Yes.
That has definitely never happened to me in my entire life. And I've never heard it happen to Ian. And I've never heard it really happening to anyone. It's like, while there is limited space, you can delete old games that you almost certainly won't play again. And then, boom. New space.
I think a part of my physical software habit is just I play so many games that are a part of bigger franchises, and, like, I don't know, I own, like, a physical copy of every generation of Pokemon games, and I kind of want to keep that going. Stuff like that. And I know that's me being dumb and sentimental, but yeah.
But, like, that's part of it, It's in the same way that you have a book on a shelf, you've got a video game on a shelf, and you're like, hey, these are the things that I own.
So if they just sent you, like, the plastic case and you downloaded it digitally, would that just be the same thing? Like, you can display it, you have something physical representing your ownership of the game. Like, would that be the same thing to you?
I mean, like, it in functionality, yes. There's something about it that I can't put my finger on that would make me go, it's not the same.
Because I know games have done that,
yep.
Especially on PC, where they just ship a code in a plastic case.
Yeah. Nintendo has been doing that a little bit more lately, where you get the box and there's just nothing in it except a piece of paper.
Yeah.
So I'm on Twitter right now and just got a bombshell. I've yet to verify if this is true.
Oh, breaking news from Lucas.
This is going to be sad news.
I think the latest Cooking Mama game was delisted from the Nintendo Switch eShop because it was being used to mine cryptocurrency.
What?
I thought this was gonna be some celebrity dying of COVID.
Yeah.
It's just fucking Cooking Mama drama.
Yeah, that's the title of this
Cooking
episode.
Mama
Thank you,
drama.
Ryan.
I thought it was going to be something even more sinister when you're like, it got delisted because Cooking Mama. I thought you're going to... I don't know. I thought there was going to be something about pedophiles in there. Oh, it's just Bitcoin. Yeah, that's fine.
Cooking Mama Cookstar, rumored cryptocurrency mine.
How
pulled
does it
from
work?
eShop.
Are they saying that like they're using like the processing power? Like someone is using the processing power of everyone who's installed Cooking Mama to mine Bitcoin?
Cooking Mama coming home to Mama would incorporate blockchain DRM, which the company is said to have included because it allows everyone to have subtly different gameplay experiences.
What?
I don't fucking know, man. I mean, you know what blockchain is, I'm guessing, because
yes.
you've invested in crypto.
I have
So
not
I guess for people
invested
who
in
don't
crypto.
know,
I have
Oh, I
not
thought-
invested in, you know.
I assumed that you would have.
Why? What?
Because you do stock market investments, and I'm surprised that you've never bought a single crypto currency.
I don't know how.
Well, a lot of investment apps. Which one do you use?
Fidelity.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if they do. But like Robinhood and a lot of the other mainstream apps, they have it's as easy as trading stock. In fact, faster. But yeah, anyway, like blockchain is basically like the stuff that makes a cryptocurrency like have value.
Yeah.
You can mine it, and that creates some sort of not rarity, scarcity that then creates value. And I don't know, somehow there's like a yeah, this is definitely not verified at all. Like this is straight up a rumor. But the way that it was removed made everyone go like, And I don't know if it's just because of the whole blockchain technology associated with the game that made that a rumor. But Redditors discover Cooking Mama Cookstar could be a cryptocurrency mining operation.
We will update you on this on the next episode of the Voluntary Viewing Podcast, if we remember.
Yeah.
All right, we're in the wind down now. Thank you so much for listening to episode 91 of the Voluntary Viewing Podcast. If you enjoyed it, please remember to like, subscribe, comment, do all the things depending on the platform that you are listening to this on. Please support us on Patreon if you are able to. We would really like that. www.patreon.com/voluntary_viewing. You get to join the terrific likes of Sensual Richard Nixon, Sucky Badger, and Tiffany Cole. Feel free to send us your questions or business opportunities to our email, voluntaryviewing@gmail.com, and follow us on Twitter for updates about the show at V2_podcast. I'm Lucas DeRuyter, freelance writer. Follow me on Twitter at Lucas DeRuyter. If anybody wants to play us in 3-on-3 basketball to test our skills, we can't. Social distancing. They'll have to take our word for it.
We'd probably be above the average listener to this podcast.
Yeah.
In terms of 3-on-3 abilities. Like, Lucas, you played basketball most of your life. I played basketball most of my life. Andrew's the son of a basketball coach.
But I'm also very bad at basketball, so it levels the playing field.
But think about the average listener who's, like, obsessed with fucku news.
Well, you want to ascribe that to our audience?
You're describing Lucas, who you just said it happens to be good at basketball.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, we're both, like... me and Lucas are both, like, above 6'2", which already puts us firmly above average in terms of height. And then the fact that, like, we played basketball in high school and shit, like... We're guaranteed to be better than, like, just an average Joe. Might not be better than an average pickup squad.
Okay,
I guess we'd get squashed by that. But
So, Ryan, you can play strong forward. Lucas can play
strong
wing.
forward.
And I can play slot corner.
None of those positions are real.
I know.
That was impressive.
I'm like, I gotta find sports words and slap them together.
Sports words.
Sportswear. Ooh, that's another strong contender.